Welcome to the pathofmusic.com audio blog for January 2012. This is George Grant. The month is almost over. I've been really busy teaching Skype, online lessons, voice lessons, mothers with their kids doing drum talk, guitar players and harp players, mastering rhythm and improvisation skills. Music meditation and motion workshops are coming up in Haley, Idaho, and in Pocatello, Idaho. A Reiki sound seminar will be happening in Salt Lake City in March. We use vocal toning to catalyze the hands-on healing process of Reiki. This will be a rejuvenation session for Reiki practitioners as well as learning new skills for them to integrate into their healing practices. The music therapy department at Utah State University is using the manual Professor Maureen Hearns wrote on my drum talk method called Empowerment Through Improvisation in their classes there this semester. I'm very excited about two research projects underway using my drum talk method. One involves choir students at a middle school, and another involves a nursing graduate research project where vocal experience is used as stress reduction for health rather than the ambitions of being a performer. So I have some thoughts to share with you today. I'm not sure what the title of this short conversation would be, but it has to do with how our Western tradition, which means the United States and our influences from Europe, we feel that reading music is such a huge thing, and that if you don't read music, then it's not even really music. The other day, I was explaining my drum talk method to a very sharp man, and explaining how that if we can say the pattern, we have a higher chance of playing the pattern. If we can say, dum, get tucka tucka dum, ga get tucka tucka dum, we're a higher chance of playing dum, da da go da go dum, da 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 go do go dum. Drum talk teaches us rhythm. If we want to be a singer, great. Guitar player, great. Drummer, great. Anything. And so this man, his comment to me was that I would do much better with my promotion of drum talk if I went more mainstream. More mainstream. And his idea of mainstream had to do with learning to read music. He thought that any music, ultimately, if it was serious music, involved reading music. Now, I've heard this many, many times. We're familiar with this, those of us who teach alternative music, or those of us who have studied music from other cultures where they do not read dots on pages. They learn the music by ear. Is this not serious music? Those particular syllables from North India would be used to play the tabla drums. There are many other systems. My system is a general music training for all instruments. Rhythm is rhythm is rhythm. Earlier, at the beginning of our blog, you heard students spontaneously presenting patterns to different sections to automatically create rhythm grooves with 3 or 4 sections. Is that not serious music? If Ray Charles can't read music because he's blind, is he not playing serious music? What about Stevie Wonder? What about Jose Feliciano? What about Andre Bocelli, the opera singer who's making opera popular again? When a baby is in the crib, do the parents put a piece of Shakespeare in the crib with that baby and say, "Okay, honey, read this"? No. Language comes by listening and responding first. Reading comes much later. The baby learns by imitation, by hearing the language and slowly figuring it out and responding, and then one or two simple little words. Little by little, the kid learns that, hey, I'm communicating. He learns more and more. He's communicating. He's listening and communicating and learning by ear. This child has a fluent speaking of his native language and has high vocabulary long before they ever learn ABCs. Say nothing about spelling and then sentence and good grammar. So here's the thing about drum talk. If we learn to chant, gag dum, taka taka gag dum, taka taka dum, get dum, gag dum. We are learning rhythm by feeling rhythm. And I have certain ways that the student knows whether it's a single beat, double beat, things like this. We have an abbreviation system of letters which relate to the sounds and the syllables we're saying. And then, after lots of experience, without rushing this process too quickly, I can put up quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, rests up on the board and not even explain what they are. And the student looks at that and instantly understands how to express it. And kids are putting their hands up like they just want their turn to read this music. And they're sight reading. This is what we call sight reading. They're going to read that thing and use it with their voice. This leads to much more ease with piano, guitar, and the serious music of violins and jazz, saxophone, or whatever you want to do. So the bottom line, the moral of the story is the voice is the secret. If you can say it, you can play it. If you can express yourself with your voice, your body feels it. You're more confident. And so we shouldn't separate singing from instrumental music, from even dancing. In many cultures, the word for singing and drumming and movement is all the same word. In Western culture, we like to analyze and separate things, and we see more and more of less and less. That's fine. The left brain leads to great space programs and computer science, but the right brain deserves its chance too. And the whole picture, feeling the whole thing. Einstein played his violin every day, and that therapy, that experience with his right brain allowed his left brain to be stronger. So two brains are better than one. In a moment, to conclude this audio blog, let's listen to the beginning segment of music I presented, and with a little bit more understanding and clarity as to what's going on. The drums are creating background accompaniment, but the voice process involves about 3 separate leaders who are facing their sections of their choir, 3-part choir, and each leader independently and spontaneously presents a vocal pattern. Their section immediately picks up on this and follows them. We call this an ostinato. The section leaders are not reading music, but they could be, and it would work out the same way. You've got 3 sections starting and stopping ostinatos, any way they like to do it. You'll notice more ostinato choir on my webpage, and there's some YouTubes of people doing this. And we'll see you next month. Call me or email me with any questions. George@drumtalk.com. That's George@drumtalk.com. Or go to thepathofmusic.com.